Ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, we're recording.
Good afternoon, Pastor. On You Got This today. This is Pastor Zelma. How you doing today, Pastor?
I am doing fantastic. How are you today?
Well, you got this. That's UGOTDIS. And I'm so glad that we finally got together so that we could do this today. Finally. How you doing today, Pastor? I know this is going to be a subject that is near and dear to my heart, and I know this is definitely near and dear to yours as well.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
And I'm praying for you. I'm praying for your family. Your family is my family. And I'm going to let you know that our Father is definitely on the job.
All the time. All the
He's
time.
never left you or forsaken you. This is not something that He is even capable of doing. And I'm going to let you give the background on what we're discussing today, um, and take it away, Pastor. You are amazing, and so was your grandson.
Yes.
And we're not going to let this case go unnoticed. And we're going to be talking about this once a week on You Got This, and I know you're going to be discussing it as well. And
Right.
I'm so glad that we finally got together to bring this case to the forefront on You Got This today. And I'm so glad that we got to do this for your baby, and your baby is my baby.
Amen. Thank you so much, Evangelist Rita Walker. And my grandson's name, first of all, is Damond Lazenby Jr.
Yes, ma'am.
Um, he went missing on New Year's Eve 3 years ago, and he was found 7 days later, um, unalive. And it was really trying because during the 7 days that we were looking for him, we searched in all areas that we could think of that was near the crime scene. And we had even searched where he was found. But the situations or the circumstances were really, really strange. The first thing is that his car was found, his keys were in the car, and the engine was running. And if a police officer finds a car that meets that particular criteria, why would the authorities call his father to come pick up the car? That was my first suspicion. And it turns out there are so many other things that go along with it, but that was the first one. So um, after we started searching and looking for him and contacting authorities and doing different things in order to try to find him, as African American children, uh, we always um, tend to down, well, not always we do, but our children are downplayed like they're not important. And anytime you have a situation where African American children are involved, they are classified less interesting to apprehend or find a solution to the problem. And this is what I'm finding with this particular case as well, because not only he was found on the side of the freeway, he was found in an area where the rail hadn't even broken. He was found in clothing that he didn't leave home in. His clothing was clean and his body was dirty. He had a slightly broken leg and a scar on his side. And as the autopsy began to examine different things, um, they found that his last meal was eaten was a burrito, which would happen, I would say, maybe within 24 hours. And it was decided that it was a hit and run. And with all those elements being involved, which I had discussed before, how could you be found 7 days later on the side of the road, accused of being hit by a car, no real impact or damage to really validate that, according to his body, and most of all, no car that hit him, no suspects, or anything of that nature. So, what I was really thinking, I thought about it. And as I was thinking, I thought statute of limitations. And the statute of limitations on a hit and run is 1 year. The statute of limitations of murder is unlimited. So that's really classifying our children to not be of value, even though it is determined that foul play had to be in place, but still to be determined as a hit and run. So the first thing that we have to do in order to correct this is to get his case reopened. And that's the process that I am preparing to go through now. And most of you would think, oh, this is just an ordinary young man. But as we start to really re examine his steps in life, his interests and his beliefs and his um, interests in education, his interests in basketball, his interests in different areas, we need to keep those things alive. And we are planning to do a 3-on-3 basketball tournament to help raise funds to continue the investigation and to get the case reopened. The other thing that we're going to do is to make sure that we keep literacy and math alive for our children, because without that, we have no future. And I really mean we have no future. At during Not during the time that he was hit by a car, but I previously owned a daycare, and I realized that he was actually one of the tutors that helped me. And also another inside family joke is that he found, when he was much, much, much smaller, he found $5, and his older brother and sister beat him out of it. And he said from that day forward, he was going to learn math and nobody was going to ever beat him out of any other monies after that. And he did that. He kept that promise, because he ended up from that point to tutor my sister in algebra. So when you have that type of influence or that type of child, and don't really value those particular aspects. And also he had encouraged some other children to go to school and do whatever, or it was like one time someone was looking for their child and they said, are they with him? And I said, no, he's right here. And come to find out that he had encouraged them to go to school and to complete their education. So education, young age, someone that encouraged that you finish school, that you definitely complete your education. Not only that, his main interest was making money. So he also did some work with young entrepreneurs, and as well as thinking along that line, he also worked with his father in his business. So we are going to honor his, not really honor, but we are going to keep that legacy going by making sure that our children have literacy, have a literacy program going, because I'm going to continue it. We had one under Helping Young People Excel, but we're now going to change it to Hoops for Hope. And those are his two favorite things, is is he was hopeful that people could learn, and he loved basketball. So that's what we're going to do. And his foundation is Hoops for Hope. And we will be sponsoring the 3-on-3 basketball tournament. I'm not going to be doing this alone, and I don't expect for it to go on by myself. So as I'm presenting this video, we will be looking for people that can help us make sure that this event goes on. And also, we will be doing a literacy program. I haven't named the literacy program yet, but we will be making sure that children have books at home, for number one, and making sure they read, for number two, making sure the parents are helping to make sure that the parents are participating, and also to assist with them within their school work frame. And so we want to keep the parent, the teacher, the child, and us as a whole to help build that foundation for education and for succeeding in literacy and math, because we will be working with STEAM and STEM to help that um, come into flourishing, and also making sure our children are aware of different things besides Disneyland and amusement parks and things like that, because science is there. It is just as much fun as an amusement park, while opening the mind to different aspects of life or different possibilities. Like they can become an astronaut, can become a scientist, they can become anything that they want. But we want to let our children know that there is more to life than just watching sports or doing sports, but to also have the educational foundation to hold them up while they are in school, keep them interested, let them know that we care about how they do in school, and care about their progress. We care about their thoughts. We care about them as a whole, because each child is important. We were all put here for a purpose. We were all put here for a reason. We have to get to know what that purpose is and to find out what that reason is and function in it. So we want to be a catalyst that help our children get to that point. So I'm just happy for this opportunity and for You Got This to support us as we go through this, because we will be doing everything all together, looking for an answer to what happened to my grandchild, putting together reading and literacy programs, and helping children to excel through whatever mechanisms that we can use to ensure that they feel confident in learning. So that is our whole focus, not my whole ambition, but a part of my vision, a part of the dream. And we're going to make sure that we continue to do this in his honor, because these were his special interests. And sometimes you never begin to really realize who a person is or the impact that they might have made on someone until you ask them, or until that person is no longer available to give that particular type of advice and influence. So as we go through that and do this, we really need to make sure that we continue to not only do this for him, but to continue to do it for our children. We want to keep a legacy alive by actually identifying with all of these particular situations. So I'm going to say, come in and support. Help us make sure that these tasks are accomplished if you have the time and the availability to keep his legacy alive. So I'm going to sign off for now. And definitely, definitely, definitely make sure you keep tuning in so you can hear about our progress and hear about what it is that we're doing in the efforts of keeping his legacy alive. And I'm going to say his name is Damond Lazenby Jr. Bye for now, and have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. Bye for now.